I made an app that makes it look like you're live streaming with tens of thousands of people watching to see how people might treat you differently when they think you're famous. The app uses artificial intelligence to generate comments based on whatever the camera sees and hears.
You guys, you think she's cute, guys? Yes, they think you're cute, definitely.
Word got out that I was famous and people started filming me. This made the first girl mad and started grabbing on me. Even with a girl on me, people still kept coming up to me asking if they could be in my live stream. This was insane. I then went to a club where the manager saw how many viewers I had on a live stream and invited me to the VIP section. I set my live to 42,000 viewers, and like a wild Charizard, this rare beauty appeared. We then started turning up on the dance floor. I felt like I was in a movie. If you want to experience what it's like to be famous, where everyone wants to be around you.
I'm not even religious, but I feel like the level of vanity in society now is a sin. Of course it's a sin. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. But without this video devolving into how we should transcend pride, how pride is actually a barrier to us realizing what we truly are, which is soul, consciousness, God, Pneuma, Ant-Man, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to explore the very, very powerful factor of social proof that you can start to leverage to your benefit in your life. If you're looking to, I don't want to say date around and engage in a promiscuous lifestyle, but if you want to date or find a girlfriend, I think this is going to be a very, very valuable video for you, and some very interesting stories coming towards the latter end of this video. I know a lot of you are most definitely going to download that app, which is called Parallel Live for those interested, and I implore you to use it. But do know that you should have one thought in mind, that if you're using cheddar to attract, don't be surprised if you end up with a rat. And more simply put, individuals who are typically superficial on that kind of level will, of course, only be interested to that aspect of your personality. Once she finds out that there's nothing really solid and strong underneath it, once they realize it's a facade, they'll probably leave. But maybe that's before you get fundamentally what you want. Know that in and of itself is another barrier to self-actualization. Just a quick one on how good this app is. I wanted to share this particular comment this individual, or review I should say, this individual had when they downloaded this app. Scary and way too realistic in a bad way. 1 star, Apple sauce. I just downloaded this app and was very skeptical at first. Of course you can be. I set my camera down and the first question I asked was, "Are you people real?" And I got a comment saying, "Of course I'm real." Another one said, "You're gorgeous," if that's not creepy enough. So the idea is, one of the factors to initiate authenticity on that live stream is some of the comments will be reacting to what you're saying in the video. And it's all based on AI. So there's context behind what the audience is seeing, which contributes to the legitimacy that, those 10,000, 20,000 live audience members are actually real and authentic people. If that's not creepy enough for you, then I said that I was going to delete the app because it was scary. And within a few seconds, an AI person said, "Why is it scary?" I then screamed, and one AI person said, "Take a deep breath and calm down. Everything will be okay." Well, I'm so grateful I covered my camera and my face wasn't shown. Don't download it if you get creeped out easily. Developer response, the AI just broke out the laboratory. They are headed to you right now because of this review. Hurry, delete it before it's too late. So again, apparently it's got some good reactivity to it that, again, adds to the legitimacy of these being real people. And if you're gonna, pull the rug, pardon me, out of the feet of individuals that perhaps you want to impress in a superficial manner and then have them gravitate towards you, like the women in this video, that could be an option for you. But I wanted to talk a little bit more morally upstanding ways that you can start to develop social proof in the women that you're interested in bringing into your life. So this is a fairly old story, but it's from an individual who's basically denoting his personal experiments with social proof in his life. So he gives a little introduction. I'll just read it as verbatim. For those of you who don't know what social proof means, let me explain it to you. Social proof is essentially the concept that will think more positively of you. This person's grammar is abysmal. That people will think more positively of you if they see that other people accept you. So maybe in a more romantic and relational sense, you can see this as pre-selection. If I see other individuals are gravitating towards somebody, there must be some reasoning behind it. So equally, I will copy that kind of behavior. I believe it's also tied to this idea of the law of resonance, meaning if you do something for long enough, then people kind of mimic a similar pattern. There's an interesting experiment where there is, I believe, 100 or 1,000 metronomes in a room, and they all start randomly. But if you leave them in there long enough, they'll all sync together, which is interesting. So I was at school today for extra lessons in economics. And since I only knew one person in that class, I just decided to sit at a table with some girls. Since the class took 100 minutes, interesting way to describe it, I did have a lot of time to talk to the girls at my table. Now, here's where the social proof comes in. After some time, there were girls from other tables that even started a conversation with me. And yes, I did manage to get some phone numbers. So you guys don't go full ballistic on me like last time. I believe he's linked to his own personal video here. Essentially, what he's trying to say with the story is that it's in your best interest to be friendly with a couple of girls at first, because other girls in the vicinity will become more interested in you, which will allow you to become more flirtatious with them. I think one of the greatest indicators for you increasing the likelihood of you getting a long-term girlfriend is just being the proximity of other women. And I know this is really cliche and abhorrent idea that men and women can't be friends. I don't know if that's true or not, but it comes from a place where many men don't recognize that can be value in female friendships. And I believe this is one of them. I believe one of the most underestimated things that you can do if you're really looking to get a girlfriend is when you're colding approaching a woman, a lot of onus is on this idea of, I want to make this woman, romantically interested in me. And guess what? If that doesn't work, she could be your friend and introduce you to her friends, or she could be social proof for other women. And when you view cold approach in that particular lens, it takes a lot of pressure off the situation and makes you feel more calmer, more confident. And again, you're just trying to build connections predicated on some kind of relationship, not necessarily romantic. And I think that can be of enormous value to you. For example, this individual has leveraged this idea, and to his credit, it's working for him. So never underestimate the incredible power of social proof. Whenever I went out dancing with an extremely attractive female friend, other women could not take their eyes off me. Starting random conversations with any of these women was easy, since they would be immediately open and warm towards me. On nights where I would visit the same venue alone, much more effort was required on my part to successfully engage the women present. So he's experimenting with the parameters of the test, really. And the variable that makes it easier is when you're in the presence of women who are attractive female friends or female friends. I think the variable of them being attractive will certainly increase the likelihood of other women gravitating towards you, because it's, again, more social proof. Why is this very attractive woman hanging around this individual? Well, it's because he's a high value individual. Therefore, I should mimic that kind of behavior as well. On one occasion, I approached a woman there and asked her to dance with me. Her immediate response was to decline. A moment later, my attractive friend came over to inform me that she was going to step outside for a minute. The 3 seconds of that social proof provided to me by my attractive friend were enough to cause the other women to reverse her position and wanted to dance with me. There's another really interesting phenomenon based on the wedding ring effect. It's a really interesting effect. It does make me despair a little bit, but this is, I wouldn't say human nature, more animalistic nature. When I'm talking about this kind of topic, we're talking in terms of sexual pre-selection, maybe more promiscuity and lust in that kind of very unidimensional lens, I guess you could say. But if you're a man, or I heard a story of a guy who was having some trouble dating, having trouble at the clubs. And what he did was he put on a wedding ring, and apparently the differences were night and day between the kind of attraction he would get when he was wearing a wedding ring and when he was not. And in fact, when he would bed these women after, and they figured out he wasn't actually married, they would be furious, because a lot of their motivation was predicated on this idea that this individual has already been locked down by an attractive woman, and that woman wants to spend the rest of her life with him. Therefore, he must be valuable. Do with that information what you will. I'm not encouraging you to do anything here. It's just an interesting observation for me here. And I think it's really interesting to look at this in terms of, the reversal, and perhaps if you're not going to go and do these things, what certainly not to do that is not displaying high value and social proof in that unidimensional lust, promiscuity, sexual attractiveness, more animalistic reflex.
Boys, you need to stop being so fucking available. Today I'm going to tell you why you keep getting rejected.
So listen to this video here.
Boys, you need to why you keep getting. And you know what? It is really sad that if you treat a girl right, she's still gonna go to the guy that doesn't. But as a girl, I can't even tell you how many times I've heard
a lot of this opinion, and it is sad. She says it's sad herself, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just the way human, again, I don't want to say human nature, but more animalistic nature is designed and wired in that way. Being too available does not equate to value, because availability is not scarce. You want your time to be valuable in that kind of dimension, whereby it's a challenge to actually get access to it. And if you're being too forthright, too open, she's going to equate that to neediness and all these kind of negative emotions that aren't congruent with high value in that particular dimension. And this one is the nail in the coffin for me. I want you to remember this post next time you feel like expressing your love. Nina, this man texted me, "Thank you for showing me what it feels like to be loved. I can't wait to make you my wife someday." It's stuff like that makes me want to cheat. From a spiritual dimension, I despair. I despair when I hear that kind of stuff. But from an attraction point of view, and we're talking attraction, we're talking courtship, we're talking the initial phases of relationship. We're not talking long-term, whereby you've established a long-term relationship, but building attraction. Building attraction is a completely different process to exercising healthy parameters within a relationship. And when you're building that initial attraction, there has to be polarity. There has to be a lot of give and take. There has to be a sense that you are valued, not just by her, but by other individuals. And, you really want to lean into that and play into that the best you can. I truly believe that one of the best things that you can do is start to show some and demonstrate social proof by courting female friends, or at least have female acquaintances that you can talk to casually. Maybe you can hang out, go to a coffee shop, go to the club. I don't know. I'm more of the opinion that you're not going to be able to find too many high value women in arenas where promiscuity is the agenda, which is typically the night scene, but I can be proved wrong with that. I'm curious to know what your personal experience is, gentlemen, with social proof, whether or not you believe it's a powerful dynamic, and how you've leveraged it in your life in order to create attraction in the women that you want to bring into your life. Are these theories or are these facts? Let me know in the comment section below. Speak soon.